Well, yeah, but this is still below what we paid here.
Yeah, but Mary had, what,
Yeah.
6 years experience? She had completed all of her classifications and all. To me, she needs to start out at grade 10, step 1. Then if she has a 6-month probation period, then at the end of 6 months, we look at it. If she completes her classes, then you look at stepping on up. But I can't see starting somebody out at that rate when they don't have any qualifications as far as this job. That's just my opinion.
Is council's decision, did she interview very well? And was, the recommendation she had, like I say, this is the rate that was acceptable for her. If the council's decision is not to approve her rate and hire her, then we have no other alternative at this time but to go back and repost and re-advertise.
Well, negotiate,
What's the likelihood of having, we didn't have anybody beating down the door for the job. So what's the likelihood if you repost it that you have somebody to come through for that amount of money?
I would go back and negotiate with her.
What does yours equate to? I don't know how that.
I don't even know.
Oh,
Let's look at that first before we go further
It's
than that.
21 something, isn't it?
the
$21.99, so $22.
And you're at 23,
24, 13.
24,
So it's
30.
$2.
she would be on step 4. He gave her the step 4.
Okay.
What's-
What's the requirement in there? She get the certified clerk credentials within a certain
There
amount of
is
time?
3 years, isn't it?
requirement for, you got 3 years. in
What's
this
up
account.
on step 2?
Step 2 is 22.68.
What does that equate to? You said, now, we do base this on an hourly thing, but it is still a salary, correct?
Right.
There's no overtime in this?
No.
Correct.
no
Okay.
overtime.
Okay.
And what that amounts to, I think it was 50,190 at 2413.
If she did the 22.68, it'd be 47,174.40 a year. But if what she's doing now, the 2413.80 times 26 is $50,190.40.
Of what?
What Mr. Charles has recommended, the 2413 is 50, and then what Larry was saying was 47.
The $21.99 is 47. I thought it was 45.
Oh, I didn't do that one.
You were doing step 2, right?
Mhm. The step 1 is $45,739.20.
Yeah, like I said, I know it's council's decision. The other people who were on there, most of these folks, I think they did not realize with their qualifications was an entry-level, non-management job is what they had.
I just think you're gonna have to, pay somebody what they're worth, in order to get them to come here.
Well, most of the time, you don't go in a place telling folks what you got to have. You ask them for an offer,
Probably if you got the bargaining chip and you see that you're the only qualified one, you probably can. I know I would.
I've only been in that position one time.
Hey, well, like I said, I
In
think
a
that,
whole 50 years of working.
I think that if she interviewed well, you think, out of everybody else, and,
She definitely interviewed well, but she's gonna be pretty much a probationary employee
Right.
for a while. And this is a very difficult job, and it may end up being over her head, but she interviewed well, she has good qualifications. None of the applicants has any experience in the municipal government.
right.
You're close. Again, I'm feeling, I'm not quite, is there any way we can look at a 6-month or whatever appropriation period and say we're gonna have that's the amount that you offered? And be the step in between Larry and what you just said?
Yeah, like even offer the 22, if she meet the 6-month probation,
then you do a step.
And then let her have what you offered her. If she's willing to go with that, I'm very fine with
They're
that.
gonna be there, but it's gonna be 6 months later.
And then when she completes certain steps,
She can get-
I mean, you don't want to lock yourself in, you know, I mean, sometimes you have to hold a carrot out there, you know.
You think that's workable or not?
I can go back and answer. Now, this was what? This was step 4, 2413, correct?
Yes, 24, no, it's step 4.
Yeah.
Step 4, grade
Step
10,
four. All right, step 2 was,
22.68.
okay. So.
I would agree to the 2268, and then 6 months, we look.
Yeah, what you
Okay, 6 months, everything goes good, then we
I'm-
can go on 2013.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Just
I will contact her and find out, then make a note about that,
Yes,
note on there, and, as a matter of fact, I'll go back and, I can send her a text message to you. Now, if she agrees to that, I guess that still is going to put us off until first council meeting in August.
Unless you call a special
Special
session.
meeting.
I mean, we'll be in agreement with that if she accepts it. So all we gotta have is a quorum to go and we don't have any more discussion. I mean, it's basically covered.
Okay.
That's for my opinion anyway, if that's agreeable with
If
anybody else.
that's good with everybody.
Yeah, make a motion, and like, we can make a motion out on the floor, she agree with it. We're gonna have to wait.
Mhm.
Maybe we could contact her before the council. meeting.
Right.
I'll see if I can do that. Okay. All right. Okay.
Take leave.
Yeah.
Oh, Jeff.
You don't love us anymore. You can't go play golf today. It's raining.
They gonna-
Well.
Is Michael out there?
His trucks. Yeah.
His truck was out
He's
there, so
probably over there.
he's probably on that side.
I hear you.
Yeah, he's talking about that. He's on that side of the road.
Okay.
He had to stay in the hospital a couple days.
And that-
He had to stay in the hospital. a couple
Oh,
days.
no.
They got sick last week. They don't know what's wrong.
Huh?
But
That's
he
not good.
tested negative for everything. that they could test for.
Oh,
I heard Jack Weaver, they had him sitting up today.
You know why?
I'm glad to see you among the living. Somebody said you're almost dead.
Man, I thought it was dying.
Mm-mm.
No, you can come in. No, we'll let you in there.
He had an IV pumping fluids and antibiotics in for
Oh.
3 days.
Wow.
And then I was taking 2 antibiotics by mouth. I'm still taking 2.
Got some of that swamp water down there, huh?
It was something. That's still for real.
You don't know it.
I hope that ain't what my wife's got. She's at home in the bed right now.
Mm.
You ain't eating any chicken lately, I hope.
Chicken?
They
Something
had a
wrong
big
with-
recall on.
It's all right, eat chicken. It must. Gee whiz.
I think that's what got me for that Wednesday. Before I got sick, that's what I eat for lunch.
Mm,
Yeah, it was Tyson too, wasn't
Mhm.
mm.
it? Yeah, I remember seeing it.
All right,
I eat the cheaper chicken.
I asked Michael to come in because what I have here is we have discussed, the modification of the intersection there at north and south Gulf side with West Clayton Street, and Monroeville Road. I had talked with the ladies from the Alabama Department of Transportation. They are very interested in doing something like this in their district. They do not have one. So as we went together, we talked to Civil Southeast, and they kind of gave us what they thought would be preliminary costs in doing this. However, if we approve moving forward with it, I would take it to AlDOT. And that AlDOT, they would go through and do the construction engineering.
Yeah, so that would, and this would be 100% money. I talked with Brittany over in Grove Hill, and matter of fact, she's got a copy of it now.
And she said it's a real good project, and if we get awarded, we just have to have Jeremy and them apply for it. But once it's awarded, the DOT will pick up all costs on the engineering and everything on this project. So it won't cost us nothing, it'll be 100% funded.
That's almost, they have to be interested in it with this kind of price tag on it.
Right. And so, you know, that's the only thing I'm asking is when we go into regular session, to give a motion to approve us to, apply for the grant.
Okay, and that's what we're gonna do. We're not approving the project, applying for the grant.
We're applying for the
Because
grant.
we'd really like to see this kind of money go in the streets, if we're gonna spend that kind of money.
And so, you know, we'll be able to go through and, address that item.
It's,
Now, the other thing, I gave everybody a copy of it and was talking with Michael about it. And, you know, we got a lot of people come through, or at least they called me and they talked about the condition of the sidewalks and things on the square and pressure washing. So we had a gentleman that came in, I guess you got a recommendation from
From
the
the city of Bruton, he's been doing a lot for them.
about the quality of his work. Yeah, Michael, I'll let you go ahead and.
So he's been doing a lot of pressure work for the city of Bruton, and he's got some, you know, some big equipment stuff. He can really do a good job. And now that price seems high, but actually, I went with him and we went all the way around the square, down in front of the city hall here, down in front of the police station, through the whole city hall, all the sidewalks around here, all of them around the police station in the back, and do all the way around the square, all the way down to Darby, and then also do the sidewalks out there in front of the incubator building. Now, he will work by the hour, and it's $50 an hour, basically, you know, if he does it by the hour. But now, you know, we still have to set an amount because, you know, he might guarantee it, it won't go over 9,500, but it, you know, could come in less. But now I'm figuring it's gonna be right at 9,500, because whenever we tried pressure washing this side over here, of course, you know, in little machines, a lot of places we had to go 2 or 3 times. But it took us a good day, 3 men, a good day and a half or better to do that one section over there.
Is there anybody else that's qualified that's in our police jurisdiction?
I hadn't, had nobody,
I know there's some that tried doing it and
Yeah.
say they're doing it, but I've also seen some of the work too, so.
yeah.
And the other comment is that, you know, we're trying to get restate CDL class in the incubator building out there. And as I was going through and talking with Ms. Thompson, she was asking about, you know, the city pressure washing the sidewalk and all that, because they plan on having a grand opening with people coming from all over, including Boston News Station. So, that's why I asked Michael in talking with this gentleman, you know, we included that in it too. So.
Yeah, I didn't print them off, but he sent me some pictures, of, you know, the pressure washing in Bruton before and after. And there were some sidewalks that looked a lot worse than what we got. But whenever he got the after picture, was just, you know, like it just poured it really.
You see, there's somebody's running an ad on Channel 10 during the news at night of the pressure wash down Mobile, and they got those buffer things that go, and it shows before and after and all that. So it's a weird, yeah, it can look a lot better.
You might be able to get Willie Lett. You know Willie Lett?
Yeah, now he's the last one that we hired to do it back years ago. And we had a lot of complaints about it.
But he didn't have the equipment then, but he got the equipment now.
Yeah, now he had,
He got a hot water tank. He
Yeah,
got
he
the,
has some good stuff.
me, if I want to talk to him, he got some heavy duty equipment now.
I think we should offer it to everybody that has a business license to do that. They don't have a business license.
Right.
Does he have a
we need to
business
make
license?
sure that he's actually got a pressure washing business license, because I know the year before last, he had been doing a lot of work down there in Baldwin County, and he didn't get his license back here.
Do we have him on that?
I want to say no, because he won't take, we have insurance required.
Yeah.
And sometimes he works under his brother, sometimes he works under his cousin. It's a,
I just want to make sure that we.
Yeah, I'm understanding that, but I,
Check with him and see if-
Well, anybody in the city just got
Yeah.
to meet the requirement.
Right.
And this includes the curbing also, not just the sidewalk.
Well, not actually, you know, the top of the curbing, yes, but now they don't include getting down in the curb.
No.
So that-
Al, you interested in getting that business?
We do it, but not quite on this big scale.
And a lot of this will be contingent upon the availability of funding.
Yeah, and it may make it last out to next budget or something like that. Even. Is there? We keep hitting you up for money. You keep coming up with it.
This.
Especially when Michael comes looking with his hand. We always know when he walks in, he
Well,
wants.
he always comes to me first, because I told him he better not surprise me in a council meeting, because I chew on him. But this one, I don't know where, besides come out of the contingency fund.
While we're talking about the incubator, like, if you see if Tim is out there, you see him.
Who, Tim?
Uh-huh. You will give him
Right here.
Yes.
Hello, Tim. We were talking about the incubator building. And I had, there were some concerns out there about the roof leak. And, Tim was saying there's a very high probability that's coming around the old air conditioning units that are sitting on the top.
There are 3 general locations of leaks. 2 appear to be directly underneath the air conditioning, the old air conditioning units. 2 of the old air conditioning units. And then there's a leak that's somehow coming down the building on the wall, which I cannot discover. The air conditioning units haven't been used for
Long time,
15
20
years. Whenever the last people were in that building.
Headline, that's probably been 15, 20 years.
Yeah, it's been in 20 years.
My suspicion is that those air ducts right there, anything that's connected with those units are totally unusable. So my suspicion is that we should take the air units off and just put a piece of flashing over the hole.
And so, he had talked about J&L had done it once before.
J&L took off that air unit. It was a much bigger air unit off the high part, way in the middle of the building. And of course, this is a totally different ball game, but they can do it. But I don't perceive it'll be the same price as the last one. And I didn't look at, I don't think I had that price in my head but it's not like they gotta cut it up to get it off the building. It's much smaller units.
So if we get it removed, we gotta have price from roofing, which you talked about Wayne Stream.
I talked about Wayne could do the flashing piece to go back over the top of that. I believe he can do sheet metal work.
Yeah, he get somebody to do the sheet metal, and then he can seal it all, probably.
Yeah,
That's
that's,
like. Now, there's 3 of them up there. Now, the third one, Darlene's probably gonna replace it because the split units that she had looked at were gonna be way higher than putting the unit back on the top. So that one will probably be changed out.
and that one is not leaking.
No, it's not leaking yet, but, now I did talk to an air conditioner guy, and he said with those units setting up there, I asked him about water coming into them. And he said, without them things turning on and that fan blowing and blowing some of the water and evaporating it out of that water just sitting in there and it's seeping down through the holes and everywhere else. So he said that is a great possibility, but that's where a lot of the water coming from.
I mean, when you're on the inside looking up, you can see it dripping from the bottom of some of the ductwork that's coming down out of the bottom of the fan. So with the circulation, the fan part of the So, I've gone up there and I've looked at all the other places, but if you measure from here to there and it's 20 feet by 25 feet, and you go up on the roof and you measure 20 feet by 25 feet, you're looking at the air conditioning unit. So it's, to the best of what I could determine, that's what it is.
And the other thing involving the incubator and starting the CDL class is that there were some windows that was broken out. I think it's gonna cost $536 to replace them. Some of the other things around there is that they were talking about landscaping, and that's roughly about $1,600 to do that. Now, the thing that I'm looking at, I'm gonna give you an update, here shortly. I think we can, if the city goes ahead and do those repairs and everything, and talking with Mr. Scott, I think we can get that money, all that money back from the American Rescue Plan. And the city does have, we have received our first allotment, a little over $680,000. So, I don't know, Amanda, if we have enough contingency fund to cover this. I do know we're not talking about, we have enough for the landscaping and the window repair.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if we can go ahead and get that moving, and then Tim, you can, and Mike, if y'all can get some estimates on the roof and everything. And there was one other thing they asked for, then painting on the building on the side where they're coming in. They're not coming in through the front. If you're facing the building, there's an entrance on the right side over there. And they were asking about painting that. I don't have any thoughts on that.
Painting the brick or just painting the trim?
Block,
Plain
block wall, the big, yeah,
Is that on Mill Store side?
yeah. Yeah, the paint is peeling off of it.
Yeah, I had we had, one time Mary and I had talked about at some point coming up, getting pricing to repaint the whole building and see if we could get a grant or something like that to do the whole building, because the entire building is desperately in need of paint job.
I think Ed Reed kind of wanted it to look good, real good on that side, because from my understanding, they got people coming down from Birmingham, Montgomery, and all for the big grand opening when they have it. They're gonna have a lot of people here for that day.
So if I can give a motion that allows us to proceed with what we know the pricing is, the landscaping and the window replacement, we can get that started. And when we get into the regular work session. And then we'll have the pricing for the other. And as soon as it gets in, I'll get that information out to everybody. Okay.
Right, then, okay. Anything else?
Talked about the folks with pressure washing. We talked about A-trip. We talked about items at the incubator. I don't think we covered everything at the incubator. Okay.
Yeah, we don't back out everything else taken care of. We got them poles out in the parking lot. Now, the county was supposed to start it this week with the road fix, but now with all this weather, they ain't been able to do nothing. Now, we're gonna have to cut that fence, because she's gonna pay to have a 20-foot roll gate put on that end. You know, they paying for all of that. And, but now sooner or later, if she's got enough money, I'm hoping she'll pay for having, there's about 20-something posts around there that's done broke. And I got her a price on replacing them, so I'm hoping she'll do that. But sooner or later, that fence is gonna have to be redone, because the wire on it is, it's got a few years on it.
Almost as old as you, all right?
It's a little older than I am.
I was out there yesterday. It looks much better with all them big bushes going.
And as soon as I got Clint a staging area right over by the building, and he's about got all his stuff moved, and we're gonna go in there and clean the rest of that parking lot out and everything. In them corners and all, where that stuff's trying to grow up.
While we get the prices, we need to get prices on the LED lighting for the parking lot too. Up there. No entryway, there's one building.
Well, no, that wouldn't hurt, but now, whenever we mentioned something about lighting that they were met with Ed Reed or whatever, he didn't seem too interested in having any lights. He said they wasn't gonna need them, you know. And their trucks, from what I understand, will be, you know, once they get that roll gate and all, but they'll be locked inside the fence, so.
I do need, you know, for one more thing.
I get it.
While we're waiting on Tim to come in, I just want to update the council. We have completed the performance appraisal training for the department heads and the supervisor. So we're one step closer to getting, all of that implemented. Tim, we have plumbing leak at the incubation.
Yes.
Have we been able to identify or what's going to cost us this?
No, I was just texting him right now because I hadn't talked to him all day. He called Lloyd to come over there yesterday. I think it's going to be in the drain line. But Friday, a toilet leak. And over the weekend, the drain line for the air conditioner leak. So they all go into the same drain line, and I think it's the drain line. So that's waiting for the plumber to tell us what that's.
Okay. So how we want to move forward on that?
We need to look at the contract to see if it's the tenant's responsibility or if it's our responsibility.
Okay.
If we chatted that, we just have it.
Okay, so if it's our responsibility, then, you know, we have no idea what the cost is associated with it at this point. So,
Right.
if we find this out, trying to figure out how to get around calling a special session just to deal with plumbing.
Something rotary could handle, or Floyd can't handle.
Probably so, yeah. I mean, I don't perceive this as anything big. I think somebody goes in there with a snake and cleans it out. I think that's what the solution is.
So,
Could we approve up to in the mail? You think? That way we would have to come.
I mean, I think so. Otherwise, it is an emergency kind of thing. So if all the toilets were flooding, but the flooding was in two separate areas that had nothing to do with the roof or the rain. Now it might have something to do with the not draining, but that's way away. I couldn't be that. That's too far away in the septic system. So it's got it. I think it's the drain lines going out in the building.
if we have a motion on the floor to the council to approve up to $1,500.
I would say, well, there's cleanup. I don't know how much cleanup was.
I think it was much. Clint wasn't sure if that was on him or the city, so.
Yeah, if it's like Sterling's contract, it's on him. So I would say 1,500.
And when we get in, we'll ask for a motion to approve of this thing to $1,500 in funds to address the leak at the interface. Okay. Appraisal thing. Okay, one of the next issues, and I'll go ahead and let you know about this, is Mandy out?
She may be over there.
Let me see.
She invisible if she is.
Yeah.
All right, I asked Chief to come in, she has a recommendation for a new hire at the police department. It is Andrew Hanks, that's correct. He's already had experience, I think he's got up to 5 years experience in Mobile Police Department. He has come, recommended by a supervisor as being a very good officer. Found nothing in the, background to indicate that he had any issues while he was working there. And so this is one, he's past the point that we would have to pay Mobile
Yes, sir.
to bring him on board.
He's got family in Purdue Hill, why he's moving home. His dad's sick.
And he's agreed to come at the $17.54 an hour rate. And, you know, the comments that were made, the supervisors indicate, you know, he's been in some tough situations down there, and he actually, took the office of his injuries, if I'm not mistaken.
I think his partner got killed.
Yeah. So he is experienced. From my standpoint, I think he'd be a good hire for the police department. And he's eligible to receive the $750 incentive, right? After a year. So, I wanted to present that to council and go ahead and try and get him on board. Anybody have any questions for the chief?
If we get him hired, how many openings you got for officers?
I think it's still leave 4. We'll have him to give us 3 on 3 shifts, and then when Chandler graduates from the academy in 3 weeks, we'll have 3 back on every shift. We'll still be short. 4.
Okay. All right.
Oh, you heard that when you said something.
All right, thank you. Okay, next item I want to go through and talk about is that our COVID numbers for the county, they are increasing. We've had, I've talked to Chuck down in the last 2 weeks, we were up to 49 active cases. And I feel like we need to follow the lead over at the courthouse. And for anybody coming in the city hall and a police station, that we mandate they wear masks or face coverings.
And what's so discouraging to me is the fact a lot of these people have had 2 shots. I don't say a lot, but I know some that have, and some that are in the hospital that's had 2 shots, you know, and that's what.
Yeah, we don't know anything about this yet. They ain't got enough statistics to tell us anything.
Yeah.
If we're gonna have to be revaccinated, if it's gonna be another strain that's gonna affect you.
Yeah, I think that's what's hitting us. I think it's that Delta variant, which they don't know as much about, because it's affecting people, you know, even young children. And initially, when you're dealing with COVID, it was more the elderly population and people with major health problems. But now,
And some of it is that us old folks got all concerned about and got the shots and all this stuff like that. So it took us a little bit out of the mix. And so that's the mix that's left. So if they're getting it, it's, you know, it's kind of that way too.
And you know, something else, I saw the thing he sent out today, only 27% of the people in Monroe County have had 2 shots. So that's,
yeah,
you know.
but see, that includes, that 27% is 2 shots plus the ones that got Johnson & Johnson.
Right.
So, you know, you had 3 different vaccines that you could get, so only 27% of people in the county got a shot. So, it's like I told folks, I can't afford to lose anybody in that office there. You know,
Yeah.
You know. We've had Amanda and Alicia catching up a lot of slack.
Yeah.
So I can't afford to actually go through and lose anybody in there. So I think that the community health is that would be something that we would highly recommend that they wear a mask. I guess I should still have people here. I don't feel like we could actually go through and mandate that because, people are going through renting, on their own terms.
Yeah, I think, that, and unfortunately, some point, you gotta let people make their own decision. But on our type things we can control adequately, we need to control it.
Okay. And so I would, to be on the safe side, I'd like to get a motion to do that, once we go into, our regular session.
That included the entry to the police station.
Right. It includes the entry into the police station and entry to the hall.
That's fine.
Should be the fire department too, right? Cause we go
There's
there
not-
to get the things, when we're cleaning.
Well, that's, where we're going in there is really not enclosed area.
And that's not generally, somebody have a public access, needing to go there necessarily like the police station and so on and so forth.
The other thing that I wanted to inform the council of is that I'm working with the police chief. I'm gonna set up a group text so that we have any significant events happen. When she sends it to me, it will also come to y'all. Like we have shootings and things of that nature. And I know it can be done. The only thing about it is that, I will provide her your cell phone numbers and you can get the text. If that's okay with everybody, I'll proceed. And I know where yours is gonna go, so. But, at least everybody will know, have an idea what's going on. So we'll work on getting that done. The next thing that I have on here to talk about is the American Rescue Plan. And to give you an update, like I said, the city has already received their first installment. Amanda and I have met with Mr. William Scott to go through looking at a preliminary needs assessment. Now, what he is going to do is he's going to be sending each council member.
He has sent me the link and he's
Okay.
asked me to forward it, but I didn't do it today.
Okay.
I was just gonna wait till tomorrow, so it didn't get all jumbled up with all our business
Okay,
today.
great. He's going to send a needs assessment out to each council member to complete and go back and we can, he said if he does that, it will eliminate a lot of time being in the meeting. Because he already knows where we at. And what's supposed to go. So, we'll go ahead and get that out to you guys, tomorrow. Amanda, I think it's give you an opportunity to talk about compensation for the ambulance work.
I was just, yeah, I was just gonna ask, Alicia has stepped up. I used to take care of the garbage calls. And with everything I have to do, I've handed it over to Alicia and she's done wonderful. We've gotten it kind of straightened, hopefully straightened out with Republic, but we probably get at least 5 to 10 garbage calls a day. I don't know. There's been tons of people coming through City Hall. I don't know if and they're just asking questions after questions. And she's stepped up and she's done a really great job during our time with just me and her. And a lot of time, if I'm in meetings with the mayor, she's at the office by herself. And over the last 2 weeks, I'd say probably half a percentage, she's been at the office by herself. So she has to answer all the phone calls, answer everybody's questions. And I was just seeing if y'all could give her a little bit to help her out.
What do you suggest?
I don't know if you just want to do like a one-time lump sum or if you want to do
That'd be probably
$1,
best.
or I just don't know.
Either a weekly thing or a one time or yes, probably.
And that'd just be until we hire the new payrolls and the city clerk.
Would be $50 a week adequate, you think, or not? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's for Amanda and Alicia.
That's for Alicia. Now, we've already discussed,
Y'all were saying,
we were,
to go back to when I was appointed, which was May the 18th. And I think Mr. Larry, you said it was it on mine or,
2488
oh, 24?
for 6 months from the time you started, which you said it's May, for 6 months, because she's gonna have to train both of them, basically. So.
Yeah.
Is that agreeable with you?
That's fine with me.
Whatever y'all think.
Because the money basically there because we haven't paid a person for 3 months.
Right.
The money's there.
And she's probably gonna need to buy some, she wants her hair not to be gray, she's probably gonna have to buy some color to keep it.
In the same questioning, is there any way, are we going to have staff pretty soon, hopefully, if she accepts this? I'm gonna be blunt, I've called 3 times between yesterday and today and never got somebody to answer the phone until this last time when I got you. But,
we interviewed for account receivable,
Payroll.
payroll, and, payroll. So we looked at the top 3. Out of the top 3, we only had 1 show up. And out of the one never returned our call yesterday, the other one said that she had accepted a job with the Connecticut County Board of Education. So we had one lady that came in, and I was working today on checking her references. So far, things, they look real promising for. So unless something else comes up, that takes her out, I don't see going back, because we ran into the same thing we ran in before. All it is the further down the list you go, the less qualifications you have to have.
what I was getting at, is there any way that somebody just temporary answer phones? Is there anybody available from anywhere else and that works for us, or either temporary service?
Yeah, I don't know. We may have to, we can check with, what's the
People, Mark.
people month?
I'm just saying, we're 2 out, basically.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, you just get somebody to answer the phone.
Just get the answer phone, because
Take
that's
notes.
not good to not get any answering from it. And I know what y'all going through. I'm not criticizing y'all, because I know, but other people don't know that.
Because sometimes we get on a phone call and
Yeah.
they want to tell a life story and
Yeah,
we have to hear it.
they have no concern.
And then we know the other phone's ringing, and
Yeah.
if you ask them, can it be put on hold, they get mad at that. So
We appreciate your leadership.
thank you.
Do I need to get the department heads in, see if they got anything?
I don't think
And they can answer that, ask us out there if they want to.
Okay.
It's
All right,
55.
There any other items that we need to go through to, okay, Al, you got anything?
On the clerk, or can we authorize you to move forward if she's agreeable to the terms we discussed? How does council feel? Yeah, that's why I feel if she agreed, we can go ahead and make the motion for.
Except under those conditions.
Yeah.
And Amanda, you got the rate, so
Yes.
after we get through the public hearing, y'all don't mind, I'll see if I can contact her
Okay.
before we start the registration.
Get the hiring.
Anthony,
Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know.
Bill? Yeah. Larry? Amanda, anything else?
Alicia, can it start this week or how long the time frame, or what y'all think?
Go back.
Go
What do
back?
y'all think about go back to when she
To
got
when-
the extra work?
Right. That's right.
Yeah, the whatever.
The May 18th was when I
Yeah.
was,
Yeah, but now, when did
when did Candace?
Candace
leave?
leave? Yeah,
Wasn't much long.
I
wasn't
think it
long
was
after
2
that.
weeks after that.
I think from when Candace
When
left, would be-
Candace left,
That's-
okay.
when Candace left would be the time. Well, that's my feeling.
Yeah.
That's when we really got to
June
train,
1st.
whatever.
Yeah, June 1st.
Yeah, I can't remember when she left, but I will look when Candace left.
Wasn't long.
Okay.
Okay, so when we get in, I get a motion up to address that issue.
Are you gonna bring this up about the land sale
Oh,
out
yeah,
there?
yeah. Last item, I got another email from Mr. Ron Wiggins.
There's some there's the copies of the appraisal from both of them, if anybody wants to look at it.
And they came back and they made an offer of 3,300. I can support that.
I can too, after seeing the Grimes, I mean, I know Harold from years, and I know he knows the territory, and he's fair at that. And then the fact that some property right across the road is over 4,000 acre, it's better property than this, then that would justify that.
I don't have a problem with, we can, y'all don't let me forget to bring it up, pretty good motion. I can support 3,300 acres. Again, we gotta go through the
Process public hearing or
Public
whatever.
hearing and all of that. And so, what I'll do, I'll get that accepted. And then we'll come back and, I'll work on a date to identify, and get with Chipper to see when it's good time to set stuff.
You get me? Yeah, I got something past that.
Dale.
After we get through the public hearing.
It's not Anthony, it's not. No, Anthony has done it. It's wrong.
According to the sheet, we got his answer.
Who had Mr. McKay? Because Mr. McKay.
I did.
Okay, so it was mayor, so.
Anthony done it.
Al, you want to take, yeah, I think you will. You can pray next time? Yeah, I got it. You got it. All right, appreciate it. I get this time. I get your turn.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call the order for the public hearing, scheduled July 20, 2021, 4:55 p.m. All council members are present. We'll have the invocation by Councilmember Al Bruton.
Let us pray. Lord, we thank you for the rain you're sending us. We ask your help with these COVID numbers increasing. We ask your blessings and your healing on those who are ill. And help us to get past this and put this behind us. We ask for your wisdom now for this council and this mayor and leaders of our city, and just show us your way. In Jesus' name.
Take flag. Salute. Flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The next item on the agenda is a review of weed and debris abatement. Notices were sent out to individuals on it. At this time, we will accept any public comment. You want to get cleared up? There be no public comments. Do I have a motion to approve the abatements? Okay, do I have a second? Okay, it's been properly moved and second to approve the abatement. All in favor? Okay. All right. At this time, do I have a motion to adjourn the public hearing?
Make a motion, we adjourn this public hearing and over to the council.
I have a second, properly second, all in favor? Okay, before we get into the regular meeting, there's one item that I do need to go out and address real quick. If y'all excuse me, I'll be right back.
Liquid sunshine.
It's 11 o'clock and 5 o'clock every day. Rains out and reloads to come back at us. You see his Alabama Bass Trail? You see the thing on the about talking about all the places you can eat bass? Oh, yeah, I saw that. There's like 50 places. Better not eat a bass anywhere in Alabama.
Because of all the mercury level.
Mercury level. I mean, there was been 50 locations that they tested. Largemouth bass, or striped bass, and I guess they eat all the other fish that have contamination, it just accumulates within the tank.
And everyone I looked at was mercury.
Yeah, it was on mercury, but yeah. And there was, yeah, a couple of other things, but it wasn't bass, it was something else.
Striped bass has always had high mercury levels for whatever reason.
Where's the mercury coming from?
Accumulation, I guess, of things, but you know, that's the thing. It's like chlordane and DDT and all that stuff, it locks up in your fatty tissue in humans. It's got that one bite that humans did over the years that it finally gets you. That's the damn, it just accumulates in the body on what solutions it's coming from. They didn't go with specifics of that.
That's good. Different hot sauce. Huh? It's not hot, though.
So he told somebody I told.
I mean, try that with some
Right. Give mobility.
I don't know what it does to it. It won't have the hot sauce. I mean, it won't have the hot, it'll just have the texture.
Okay, we will begin the regular meeting of the city council of the city of Monroeville. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the special work session. The fiscal year 2022 budget hearing, July 6, 2021 at 3 p.m. The work session is held on July 6 at 4 p.m. The public hearing held on July 6 at 4:55 p.m. The regular meeting is held on July 6 at 5 p.m. Special work session budget hearing on July 6 at 5:30 p.m. Special work session budget hearing July 7th at 3 p.m. Special work session budget hearing July 8th at 3 p.m. Special work session budget hearing July 9th at 1 p.m. And also a special work session on July 9th at 3:30 p.m. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the work session? Yes. Okay, it's been motion and properly second to approve the minutes of the work session. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, there being none, next item for action is the approval of the FY 2022 grant procedure and agreement for services for the elderly, which are the services provided by Alabama Tom Big E at the senior center. So do I have a motion to approve the, agreement with Alabama County Business Services of the Club? Second. Then moved and properly second. The, all in favor? Aye. The next item on the agenda is an appointment to the water board, and it was recommended from the water board to consider reappointing, Mr. Bob Burns. So do I have a motion to approve the appointment, Mr. Bob Burns to the water board?
I think that motion.
Do I have a second? Okay. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. The next item on the agenda is to approve the compensation pay for the general clerk. And also we discussed, the police. So, do I have a motion to approve compensation pay for the interim clerk, Ms. Amanda Stephens, and also compensation for the additional duties performed by Ms. Lisa Taylor? Okay, it's been moved and properly second. Do all in favor? Any opposed? Okay. Next item on the agenda is the hiring of the city clerk, Mr. Nicholas Hunt. Ms. Hunt has agreed to accept a pay rate of $22.68 per hour as a beginning salary. And at the end of 6 months, completion of 6 months probation, to go to $24.13 an hour. Do I have a motion to proceed with the hiring of the city clerk, Mr. Nicholas? So, do I have a second? Second. Okay, all in favor?
Who's second?
No.
Okay. Okay, next item on the agenda is matters to be presented by the mayor and council. I would like to announce that there will be a COVID remembrance and recovery ceremony to be held July 22nd, 2020 at Waverly Park at 7 p.m. The next announcement is to announce that the summer blast kit will be issued July 23rd, 2020 at Clausdale Park from 5 to 6 p.m. My next item to present to the council is for the approval for Silver South East to proceed with applying for an 8-trip grant to complete a project at the intersection of Alabama, West Clayton Street, North and South Gulf Drive, and Clausdale Road. Do I have a motion to proceed with this grant application? Do I have a second? All in favor? My next item on the agenda is to approve the hiring of the police officer, Mr. Andrew Hanks, becomes highly recommended by the city of Monroeville. Chief Armstrong has completed the background investigation on him. Does anybody have any questions for Chief Armstrong? Okay, there being none, do I have a motion to approve the hiring of Mr. Andrew Hanks as a police officer with the city of Monroeville at the rate of $17.54 an hour, who will also be eligible for the $750 incentive after completing 1 year service?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Second. Okay, my next item on the agenda is to deal with a mandate for the wearing of masks because of the increase in the number of COVID cases in Monroe County. And that mandate will address the wearing of the mask at the Monroe City Hall and the Monroe Police Department. it will be highly recommended that in other public places such as the community, that, it would be highly recommended that masks be wearing, during this increase in the number of COVID cases. So do I have a motion, for the mandating of the wearing of masks at City Hall and Police Department, and the recommendation for, other public places such as community? Do I have a second? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, I also have an additional offer for the sale of property on Veterans Drive, Mr. Ron Wiggins and Mr. David Hudson. The offer is for $3,300 per acre. So do I have a motion to accept that offer and, work with the city attorney to schedule a public hearing, to address the issue of the sale of property and proper procedures for declaring it excess? So moved. Do I have a second? All in favor? Okay. Do I have a motion to, for the repair of broken windows at the incubator building, and also the landscaping, of this building for the establishing the CDL class between the Economic Development Authority and Ed Reed Technical College. Not to exceed $2,500. This covers broken windows and landscape. So do I have a motion to do those, address those issues not to exceed $2,500? So do I have a second? All in favor? We need to address the plumbing, the plumbing, okay, and it will resolve. Now we talked about the incubator roof leaks on the heat up, but you don't have any cost with this stuff. So, I'm just moving to carry that over to the next meeting or to the emergency. Very good. Many things you have to.
There's morning of prayer, will be, July the 28th, 8 a.m.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay,
And
that's the amphitheater.
amphitheater. And, yes, that's an announcement. Everybody that can attend, you are invited. We're deeply forward, especially with the kids going back to school and, the circumstances that they had to work up on the last year. I think they do need prayer. I think they need our support. And it's not just the kids, it's teachers also. So, to express to them that you are listening to them up and first. So, like everyone's invited. Is that 8 a.m. That's all I have.
Michael, when we gonna get paving on the roads? When the weather gets good.
When the weather gets better, now we did get a little bit down.
You got that one over here.
Well, it got started on it.
Okay.
We got Houston over there and we got started on this one. The weather was sitting.
Does the mandate, mask mandate apply to the senior center?
I'm going to go back and rely upon Alabama Foundation, because they gave us instructions before. So wherever instructions comes down from them, those are we will call it.
Okay.
The group?
Good.
Good. The ball?
Good.
We have our strategic plan meeting July 22nd, which is this Thursday, and it's gonna be at Nettles Auditorium from 2 to 6. But she said it'll probably be really 2 to 5, but depends on how long. But our presentation is this Thursday.
I don't know everybody that went through and had a chance to see or brush draft. I got one, I can print you off a copy of it. But there are a lot of issues on that can go back and need to be addressed. And, I want to be aware of it, and also, if you can be there, please do. So this will determine a lot of things of the direction in which the city will go in the future. I am committed to the future. I think that's our gap to help us accomplish a lot of the things that, we don't even reach and stuff.
This Thursday, the 22nd, from 2 to 6 at Nettles Auditorium on Coastal Alabama College.
Okay, there being no further business for the city council of the city of Monroeville, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Do I have a second? Okay, all in favor?
All right, no, we have, let's go.